Good morning everybody, Matt here on the planet. Today we're back down at the track. Exceptionally windy today. Episode 18 I think it is, the final episode of the 310 marathon training program, and in a few days time we'll be racing the Chester Marathon. How about that? We're really looking forward to it. Yeah, so today down at the track, and I'm doing a bit of a comparison between the Vaporfly that I've now reached 1,000 kilometers in. We'll also talk strategies today, but first of all let's just get on to this track session. So I'm going to run some 400s today, and obviously both pairs of shoes, doing a comparison against them. So let's get to it. So that went well. Today I felt like, well, I've got loads of energy, but of course I'm tapering, so you'd expect something like that. So yeah, 400 times 5 with 200 meter off time. So I came out about 60 seconds, I think, the off time, something like that. And that was in the Vaporfly 1, and I switched over to the Vaporfly 2, did another 5 stints. And I made sure in each of those 5 sets that I did one full send in each pair of shoes, so that I think the fastest I got, we'll put them on the screen, but I think the fastest I got was 85 seconds in the older pair, and in the new pair 82 seconds. Yeah, so after that I went and did a 1k, because I'm trying to cap myself at 12 kilometers today, so I'm only want to do, so I did a 2k warm-up. We did 8k on the track there, but that included a 1k at the end as well. I did a 1k marathon goal pace 4:30, which after running that kind of 3:45 pace for the intervals at 400 feels really easy for the 1k. And then 2k cool down, that gets to 12k if your maths is good. So that's it for today's session. Let's go home and let's talk strategy. So let's talk strategy, race strategy for the Chester Marathon. So what's really good about it is I ran the Chester Marathon this time last year, so going into this year's marathon I've got a really good idea of what the course is like. I'll put the profile on the screen and you can see there's something like 13 rolling hills on there. Now I only really noticed 3 of them as significant. Basically there's one near the start, one in the middle, and one near the end. Really is the way that it feels like. Although if you look at the profile, check out my Strava profile as well if you want to see the profile for the route. Although I don't think it's that perfect, you can see that 13 rolling hills really. So looking back as well at the race that we did last time. Last year when we ran the Chester Marathon, it was 3 hours and 52. Now the PR that we've got is 3:27:25, I think, if I'm correct. And we noticed that you get basically with the app from the Chester Marathon, they tell you that they tell you what you're doing at 10k, 20k, 30k, so on. And right up to 30k split, we're on for 3:24 minutes per kilometre. Now I'd actually gone out too fast. I think I'd said in the video, not massively fast, just a little bit fast, but it tends to be it feels like it's more downhill at the start of the race, and I was quite comfortable to go out at kind of like 4:45 pace. Should have been really closer to 5 minutes per kilometre pace is what I was going for. Maybe 4:55 minutes per kilometre is what I should have been aiming for, and I managed to hold pretty much 4:45 minutes per kilometre pace, up and down a bit over the hills. I managed to keep that going for about 28 kilometres, and it was around about 27-28 kilometres where I started to slow down a little bit, down to maybe around about 5 minutes per kilometre pace. and then 32. By 32 kilometers, that's when the cramp started kicking in. Was it 33? Maybe 33 kilometers. 34 slowed down to 34 minutes per kilometer, and from then on there's a bit of low fives in there, and then it was pretty much 6 and 7, and the last bit was 11 where the cramp was really giving us some grief. But for my strategy, as I'm going for a 3:10 or a 3:20 marathon, it's got to be somewhere between 4:30 and 4:45 minutes per kilometre pace. So the plan will be to go out about the same pace as I did last year, around about that 4:40, 4:45 minutes per kilometre pace. Just take it easy at the start, just bedding for the first couple of kilometres, and then gradually pick it up. I'd like to try and run 4:30 minutes per kilometre at some points through the race. However, if I look back at my training, when I've done my 800 Yassos, for instance, even my 400s and even my marathon goal pace efforts in my long runs and threshold stints, I've either only just been able to hit the 4:30 minutes per kilometre in pace. Well, probably the threshold runs and the marathon goal pace efforts, most of them I've been able to get to that. But if you look at the 800s, it's quite difficult to get those paces I've been after. For example, I've wanted to run for the 800s 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I've done it in a few of the, in a 10 by 800 set. I've done a few, but I haven't managed to get them all like that. I think the best I got around to was about an average of 3:13 minutes per kilometre for an 800 set. Yes, obviously on the day I will be able to draft off other runners. I'm probably going to follow a pace group, which I'll mention in a bit, and obviously I'm a bit fresher because I've been through the taper, so I think there's a great potential to get close to 3:10. However, I don't really want to be on that pace all the way from the start, and run the risk of cramping up again at the end. So I would probably say that my training for the 3:10 marathon training has been good. It's been successful in terms of I've become a faster runner, become a stronger runner. Obviously been doing the weights and been practicing a lot more with the nutrition, getting that more dialed in. So I think as an all-rounder marathon runner, I'm better and faster. However, I think 3:10 is right on the limit of where it could be, and it might happen, but I think I just need to start out easier, and see how it goes towards, when we're getting up to that 32k kilometers. How do I feel at 32k? Am I able to put the hammer down at that point, and try and negative split the marathon? I think that's the best approach. So start out slow, keep the heart rate again lower. If I can, around about 160 beats per minute is the maximum, maybe 165, depends if we're going up the hills, and then we might come in somewhere close to 3:10. I'd rather take it a little bit easy and try and guarantee myself that I get the 3:20, sub 3:20 marathon, rather than overcook it and end up failing again. And as long as I PR against last year's 3 hour 40:52, I can't complain with that. But I should be trying really pushing to beat 3 hours 27 and get really comfortably into sub 3:20s. In terms of the pacing group, I'm going to keep the pacer. There's actually a 3 hour pacer, a 3:15 pacer, and a 3:30 pacer there at the marathon. So I'm going to try and keep the 3 hour 15 minute pacer. I've never actually run in a pacing group before. I've followed other runners and drafted off them and felt that, the benefit from that. So I can't see it being a disadvantage. But it's just a case of wanting to keep that 3:15 pack in my sights. So if I don't run with them, maybe try and keep them at 100 meters or 200 meters ahead of me or something like that, and try and use that through the race. And then as we get towards the end of it, as I said, to 32 kilometers, let's try and pick it up and go a bit faster. In terms of running the race, this is the Vaporfly Next Percent 2 that I ran the Chester Marathon last year, exactly the same pair. In fact, I don't think I've run with them since, because these bits of grass that are on there are the bits of grass from the race course last year. I remember that. So race gels, we're going to go very similar to what we did in the Great North Run and what I do most of the time. We've got the Molten gels, we've got the caffeine free, which is that one. We've got the one with caffeine, so it'll be a mixture of those, probably 4 of these, probably 2 of these, and I've got 2 of these actually, but these are the Univad Vanilla, the larger pack ones, so I think I'll take at least one of those on a run. Again, I will be topping up on the Precision electrolyte tablets. As you know, I'll be having these for the whole week running up to the marathon. these are the 1500s are the strongest ones that Precision make, and probably I can't find any that have got any more electrolytes. So these have 750 milligrams of sodium per tablet. They've also got 24 milligrams of calcium and 24 grams of magnesium and some potassium. So the calcium works with the sodium to tighten your muscle, and then the magnesium is there to relax it in the running situations. When you're not running, potassium's used more to release, and that obviously helps you stop from getting cramps. I've also got the Zero High 5 tablets, which I'll be using these in the race again, and again I'll be just overloading on those as I'm running through the race, probably 3 times, maybe 6 tablets through the race. I haven't quite exactly decided, but I'll probably take more on the race than you actually need. So that's the race. I'm predicting I'm going to get a 3:15 marathon at Chester. Okay, so that's it for my strategy for the race. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for following the series, and we'll see you in Chester. And also there's a short little clip here, which is the progression times of a marathon from when we started really training and racing marathons 3 years ago up until now. And yeah, maybe a little bit more motivation, a trailer for the event that's coming up. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.